So let's get back into our
Yes.
sleep conversation.
Part two.
About do.
Yes, exactly.
my French
That's
accent.
your French accent.
Yes,
Good job,
partout.
babe. Yes. Yeah, no, we were talking about how prevalent it is for people to have insomnia, sleep challenges. 30% of our country, 30% of our population is sleep deprived in some way and have trouble sleeping, either falling asleep, staying asleep, actual diagnosed with insomnia. And so we just thought we'd come in and help you guys.
So we're not going to rehash. In other words, if you want to know about part one, go back and listen to part one, because we're going to go forward, not
We're going to
backward.
go forward, yes.
So your stats are good, and from there we go forward.
Exactly.
Into the world of sleep.
Yes. So this next section is because of our sweet little granddaughter, Honey.
Okay.
This past week, we had a situation where she ran and played and swam all day long.
Yes.
Like she was so busy and she was
very active.
Yes. And then she was so tired and she went to sleep at 7:15.
Okay.
And we were all thinking, she's going to have the best night's sleep. She's exhausted. It's going to be so great. And guess what? The next morning,
we learned that wasn't true.
We learned that wasn't true. And so I think that we make this assumption that more tired equals better sleep, and that is not true.
Nope.
When we're overtired, we start
to be fair, you let her have 2 popsicles that day too.
They are the mini popsicles, you guys. They're just tiny, and she's done that before. She
wasn't even done with the first one, and she said, "None, I think I should have one more." And you're like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Yeah, you would never let our kids do that."
No, it's way different when you have a grandchild.
And then we expect them to get a good night's sleep. Never mind, that's a sidebar.
And that is not the factor that we're talking about here at all.
No.
But when our body's overtired, we start producing more stress hormones.
Yes, cortisol.
Yeah, and adrenaline to keep us functioning. It's like our body is saying, you're running low on fuel, so let's fire up the backup generator.
Wake it up, yeah.
And then she goes into, like, she can get that first initial bit of sleep, but she's dealing then with all those stress hormones. And the same thing happens with us.
All of us, yeah. I was going to say, we don't want to single her out.
No.
Special, but not like that.
Right. It was just fresh on my mind. I'm like, because then I needed to do a deep dive. It's like, is that even possible? Why does that happen? I do like knowing
your curiosity brain.
Yes, my curiosity brain. So what happens a lot of times, sometimes people have a hard time falling asleep if they're overtired because they have already activated that.
And who hasn't had that happen? You're bushed and you know you put in a hard day or a long day, whether it was physically, mentally, emotionally, or all the above, and you're thinking, I cannot wait to go to bed. Yeah. And then you just stare at the ceiling for a while.
Yeah, where you just can't unwind.
Yeah.
And that's...
just get up and have coffee. Don't do that.
Don't
bad
do that.
Advice.
Yeah. So one of the things that we've noticed is, like with Honey specifically, is that she will a lot of times sleep better at night if she's rested when she goes to bed. Like if she's
a little
had
nap
a nap
in the afternoon.
Yeah, which made me think, should we all be having naps in the afternoon?
I love the nap in the afternoon.
You do love a nap
in the afternoon.
I am afraid. So, sometimes, like when we've traveled all day, I mentioned that. If you've worked too late, if you're staying up past your bedtime and allowing a lot of extra stress, if you're pushing through exhaustion rather than identifying it and working
sometimes you got to
it.
do what you got to do. It requires a certain amount of activity for a given frame of time, and you just don't have time to sleep. There's a deadline. You know why they call them deadlines? Because they shorten your life.
Because it puts all that extra pressure on.
It does. It's a foolish thing. And we get kind of caught up in it. 100% true. It happens.
Yeah.
And so how do we offset the beating? Or you get that second win. It's like, oh, finally. When I thought I was going to collapse in my chair, it's like, I got more energy than I need. Let's go do something.
Yeah, it's so one of the things to take into consideration with that is just overall metabolic health and how that does affect our quality of sleep. You guys, he's yawning right now.
It's the middle of the day. If I was driving a car right now, I'd be a hazard.
You would be a hazard.
No, I would not.
So No, but a lot of time, we've talked before about people feeling stuck and they're tired all the time. They're gaining weight and they don't realize how these two things are connected. But metabolic function is a two-way street where if you are challenged metabolically or you're dealing with obesity, you're not sleeping well. The likelihood of you having sleep apnea is so much higher.
A lot of CPAP machines are sold because people don't otherwise figure it out.
Right.
Nobody gets sleep apnea because they're low on CPAP machines.
Right.
The
Yeah.
CPAP machine can be a game changer. It can absolutely help, but it's a stopgap mechanism. It does not address the reason you are short-circuiting your breathing.
Yeah.
And talking your metabolic conversation is very timely for a lot of people.
It's relevant, now. But also the sleep apnea. Do you find that when somebody is in alignment after they've been adjusted, that can change?
It is very common. One of the first few things people see change with corrective spinal care is their sleep pattern, because it is about hormone balance. It is about stress hormones. It is about metabolic function, and that's all controlled by the brain.
Right.
So when a person is stuck in fight or flight or sympathetic dominant physiology, if there was a tiger chasing you, you would not lay down and take a nap. You would be running for your life. So when we live in a stress-filled world and we're stuck in sympathetic dominance, sleep becomes a low priority for your physiology, even though you want sleep.
Yeah.
And so when you unlock the neck of a person, when you unlock the nervous system of a person, that reset is among the first few things that happen. And the body, you can see people's breathing pattern change while they're on the adjusting table. In fact, I have a handful of people who know whether they are in or out of alignment by their breathing pattern. And they know that the loud sympathetic breathing pattern says, I'm stuck. And that's when we see them. So yeah, when you unlock them, if one of the first things that changes is sleep.
Yeah. And with sleep apnea and why it would be beneficial to address that if you're dealing with it is low oxygen to the brain. That's why people wake up sometimes with headaches or, morning headaches or daytime fatigue, because they're just not oxygenized, like their blood cells are craving oxygen.
Yes, and this, metabolism and metabolic health has a lot of, it's not a simple thing. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of reasons. One of the things that you and I both enjoy is getting to the why. Yeah, getting to the reason. There's a reason for sleep apnea. There's a reason for metabolic weight gain. There's a reason for snoring. There's a reason. And so while there's all these gadgets and gizmos to offset or short circuit things, if you don't address the reason, you just got to buy more gadgets and gizmos.
Yes.
Or more potions or more lotions or more whatever. It's like, hey, let's get down to the brass tacks on this thing and figure out why your body is doing that. And we can support it along the way with some shortcuts or some
temporarily, but you have to be working on getting.
You got to address the why before the what gets better.
Yeah. So blood sugar and metabolism, a lot of times that's blood sugar swings or cortisol spikes. That 2 to 4 a.m. waking up is that.
What's the blood sugar monitor thing that people will wear?
The glucose monitor?
Glucose monitors there's a lot of fascinating data that comes through there. I don't know that I want to live my life collecting data all the time. Yeah. But a little bit of that data will show you what your body is doing at night. Your Oura ring, same thing.
At night, but also every time you eat something, know, what you eat and how that affects your blood sugar.
If you're a data-driven person, the glucose monitor can be very helpful. Yeah. And some people are not data-driven, but again, spend a month with one of those things. It'll tell you how what you're doing is affecting your overall health and your overall chemistry.
Yeah. So when it comes to...
Can you just go buy those off the shelf? Can anybody go get one?
You might need a prescription. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think then you need like an app or something to control it. It usually feeds into your doctor's office.
I see.
That's my understanding.
Okay.
But for somebody that is overweight or dealing with blood sugar issues or metabolic dysfunction, it's a vicious cycle for them because the less sleep they have, the more cravings they have, the more insulin resistance they're dealing with, the more they're gaining weight. Like it is, and then they have even more sleep. So it's just really just such a vicious cycle. And, I don't know that there's always a connection besides just the fact that somebody that's struggling with weight gain or feeling like they need to lose weight, their joints hurt more. So there's more aches and pains, which also throw off their sleep cycle.
Well,
Pain can keep
inflammatory
them
markers
awake.
are going to be high in the bloodstream of a person who's stuck in fight or flight.
Yes.
Your
true.
inflammatory markers are always going to be higher. And again, not to keep beating the same drum, but sympathetic dominance or fight or flight physiology heightens your sensitivity to everything,
Right.
including pain.
Yes. Oh, that's true. Yes, I agree.
So you're going to be
manage
more aware of things when you're stuck in that pattern.
So do you ever talk to your patients about the best sleeping positions? Because I
Yes.
notice support. Yes, let's talk about that a little bit from a chiropractic perspective.
Well, I always think of if you think of your spine kind of like a car, and any car really, if you put a car in neutral, take it out of gear, put it in neutral, you could roll it with your hands. It would, even though it weighs thousands of pounds, you could probably nudge it.
Yeah.
A small car, you could push it. You
Yeah.
know? And so I always imagine putting my spine in neutral while I sleep. Because if I leave it in gear, if it's stuck in gear, then the stuckness is what's going to make me stiff and sore in the morning. So a side posture sleep, I'm a huge fan of sleeping on your side. And it could be either side.
Okay.
And then the neutral posture means your pillow, and you will need a pillow, is going to keep your nose, your chest, and your belly button in a nice straight line. And that line should be parallel to the bed or parallel to the floor. If the pillow is too tall, it jacks your head up toward the ceiling and puts a big kink in the base of your neck. If it's too short or there is no pillow, it lets your head drift toward the bed. And either way, you're going to wake up wishing you had supported your head better. It can also be helpful to put a pillow or something between your knees to open up lower back and pelvis.
Because then it doesn't kind of crush that lower back, right?
It doesn't put a twist. It takes some of the twist out. So again, just neutral. Imagine putting your body in a nice neutral place and letting it have a flow. It can flow while you sleep. If you're on your tummy, you're going to have to turn your head one way or the other, and craning your neck at night against your bed is going to get you in huge trouble by morning. And it may feel, that's my favorite position. I love sleeping, and if I can't sleep, I'm a little bit tough. Well, you're jamming up your nerve system, and you will remain in sympathetic dominance. If you want to sleep on your back, that's probably all right. You just want a pillow that will support your head in that neutral place, which means it's going to probably have some contour to it. It's going to support your head and is close to neutral, so that if I'm laying on my back, I kind of want my ear hole lined up over my shoulders and my shoulders lined up over my hips. I might want to put something under my knees just to take some stress out of my lower back, but I don't want a pillow that jacks my head up toward the ceiling.
Which is what happens to you when we're at a hotel.
Oh man, hotel pillows are horrible. They're one size fits none.
You use a buckwheat pillow,
right?
For yours. I have two different types. One is a flawless face pillow, which I love. It kind of has these little arms that go around you. But what I've found most recently is I've been taking a bath towel, folding it in half, and then folding it in thirds like an envelope style, and just sleeping on that towel.
Because it's the right height.
It's the right height for me. I feel so rested. And I did that out of desperation at a hotel because I didn't have my little tiny travel pillow.
And converted it to your home life.
Yes. And then I took that home because it was so beneficial for me.
Yep.
So there's some different philosophies about sleeping on the left side versus the right side too. There's usually less acid reflux for people that sleep on the left. So if they are struggling with that and they're still eating
and
their midnight
probably less
snacks,
cardiac stress as well.
That's actually on the right side.
No.
On the right side. I will tell you exactly why that is. Because when people that are dealing with some cardiac issues, if they're sleeping on their left, they're going to feel their heartbeat. They can actually feel it. And so if they're sleeping on their right side, then they don't feel that heartbeat. So
something wrong with me because I can do both.
Well, I think most people should be able to do both. But that's just and if somebody has sleep apnea, either side is going to be better than their back.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, you'll suck the curtains off the frame if you're sleeping on your back with that.
Yeah, for sure. And then you already touched on the stomach sleeping thing because that
Stay off your belly.
Stay off your belly. And there's some people that have to do things like sleep with a tennis ball, like strapped on their body so that they will stay off of their stomach, or a ping pong ball even works. So
I'll tell you what, you take an old t-shirt and you turn it inside out, and then you spray it down with that aerosol spray adhesive, and then sprinkle broken glass all over it and turn it back over. And if you lay on that, you will get off of your tummy.
We do not recommend you doing that at home.
You could use rusty nails. You could use metal shavings. Anything that would keep you off your stomach would be a great
Oh my gosh, I want to go down a rabbit hole so bad. I've had so many people talking about how doctors are forcing tetanus shots on them for little cuts and scrapes. And so we can do that another time.
Impossible.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another time.
People are not thinking it through.
Separate bedrooms, we can touch on that. If you are struggling staying asleep with your sleep partner, we highly recommend
divorce.
No, your marriage is not in trouble. In fact, it can improve your marital relationship if you both wake up rested and happy with each other. So definitely
you're not so bad after all.
Recommend that, because a well-rested spouse is a happier spouse.
And a happier spouse is a happier house.
We already talked about morning sunlight so many times. I feel like we touch on that every single episode, but that definitely is something that I just want to mention again because it's so important to set that circadian rhythm early in the day. You don't have to worry about too much sun exposure that way, and making sure that you're not wearing your sunglasses so that sunlight is touching the optic nerve. Yeah, super important. It actually improves the melatonin production later on.
Should I take a melatonin supplement if I'm not sleeping well?
So I do have a small list. I didn't want to talk about what you need to buy so that you can sleep better, but there are some tools.
Quit eating Cheetos at 11 and you'll be all right.
As you're shifting your lifestyle habits,
right,
and you're desperate for sleep, magnesium glycinate or threonate are excellent for sleep. Glycine is one of my favorites, one of my personal favorites. I like it, especially.
What is glycine?
It's an amino acid.
I know that you know. I want them to know.
Well, you were asking me. You were looking right at me.
Like everybody knows. I just
glycine.
wanted to know what it is.
Glycine is an amino acid.
Thank
you can buy it in a powder form. It is part of some of the peptide combinations that I use that are injectable. Has a lot of good benefits to it.
Just put it right in the morning smoothie.
But it's good for sleep. So a lot of times if somebody is...
I'm tired by 10. I'm kidding.
So this is why, sleep quality, it can help with that. It helps with sleep onset and better next day energy. The other cool thing about glycine that I love, it has multiple functions, purposes, and benefits. But I love that it is a precursor for collagen. So all of my people that are trying to find clean collagen supplements, and there's so much controversy about collagen supplements and how they're manufactured and the industrial process around collagen supplements now, and they're not all clean and they all need stuff. But glycine is clean and it's very simple. Glycine is simple. It is just an amino acid. So using that to support collagen production, and you're going to get better sleep as well.
2 for 1.
2 for 1. Probably more than that, but those are the two I want to talk about. Yeah. Taurine helps with relaxation and nervous system. That's another amino acid. L-theanine is really good for calming. Racing thoughts helps the system to calm down. And inositol is a B vitamin, and it is also really good for calming your body down too. And you can take a lot of inositol, like grams worth of inositol for benefits. It's also helpful for depression and anxiety, those types of things. Brain food, really good brain food. So melatonin is controversial. I do use it occasionally, especially if we travel, in the form of Symbiotica's sleep. It has a little bit of melatonin in there, and it really does help me to fall asleep faster and stay asleep when I'm in a different environment. I do, travel fatigue and all that. Sometimes it's just helpful to reset. But there's thoughts along the melatonin, because if the pineal gland is what's supposed to be producing the melatonin and we override it by taking melatonin, does the pineal gland stop producing melatonin? So I don't recommend taking it all the time. I recommend having it on hand if you need it.
Like extended periods of time. And I think it's an okay occasional thing, because you're right. If you keep putting something in that your body manufactures naturally, it will say to you, oh, if you're going to put this in, I can quit making it.
Yeah, I can do something else with that energy.
Yeah.
The other thing that I take when I travel too is valerian. Valerian root has an interesting
Tablets or
history.
tea, either way.
Tablets or tea. I use the tablets. I find that they work wonderfully. I usually take 3 if I'm going to take them. But valerian root is what they made Valium from. So almost every pharmaceutical medication starts
Used
with...
to be a plant.
Used to be a plant.
And then they turned it into a poisonous petroleum nightmare.
It intensifies the effect. But yes, there's usually so many other things that are in there. So if you can do it with just valerian root, it's great. I don't find that I have any like slowness or drowsiness the next day with it. But everybody's different. Some people might. So taking it at like 4 o'clock, and that way, you know, you're winding down your day, and you can do that. I actually have clients that will take 1 at noontime, 2 at 4, and then 1 right before bed.
So
and
to quiet your nerve system, you could use valerian anytime, day or night. If you're a person who's anxious, the other one I like is kava.
Absolutely. Kava is good. St. John's wort is good. Those are all very good nervous system support.
Yeah, if you've got a high stress day going, a little kava at the end of the day, or a little adrenal support, there's a couple of ways to go about that.
There are, and it's going to depend on your body chemistry.
It will always facilitate better sleep.
So 12 things that are going to destroy, things that will destroy your sleep, the doom scrolling that we already talked about, work emails, news consumption by either watching the news, watching videos on TikTok, any of that type of thing. We don't do true crime at all. We've never done CSI style things.
I can't believe people watch that stuff.
Yeah. So binging that right before bed, you know, it just fills your brain with
the darkest side of humanity. They put it on public or consumption.
And one of the other things is late night problem solving. The challenge with that is I find when the house is quiet and everything else is quiet, I can usually think more clearly. And so I have found that I do tend to do that, but I'm trying not to, because our brain isn't a light switch. We can't just turn it on and off. How late can you drink coffee?
Late as I want. It's a free country.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people.
No, it's actually not a free country, and it's not a good idea to drink coffee late. I actually had a little bit of coffee last night, though, around like 6:30.
I know.
I mean, like an after dinner. I had a little after dinner.
I saw you make an espresso.
Splash of coffee.
Did you do that with your cigar?
Shut up. You're not supposed to tell people what I'm doing. Yes, I had a little bit of espresso
with your cigar. Yeah, it was a very unusual combination, I thought.
It was delicious. But it didn't bother me. I mean, it was fine.
But there's a lot of people that they can't have caffeine after 2 o'clock.
No, most people are, you know.
So that's an easy place to start. If you're struggling, falling asleep, staying asleep, just cut your caffeine. You know, don't drink it after 2 o'clock, and see if that helps. Do that for a week and see if that helps. That can be very effective, and it makes it...
different levels of sensitivity.
Yeah. Yes. And then so some bonus sleep enhancers. We talked about those a little bit on the last episode too. Okay. But reading a physical book, so not using your phone, read a book.
Nothing electronic after 8 o'clock.
Prayer before bed, fall asleep as you're praying.
Gratitude.
Gratitude. Journaling, if you do journaling, that's I prefer journaling in the morning, but journaling at night is awesome. Having a consistent bedtime routine. Some people take a bath right before bed, or use magnesium oil on their feet. Just that, but staying consistent.
Yeah.
And picking
a routine that tells your brain that it's time to settle down. We're getting ready for sleep.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. I mean, you're so good about going to bed right around 9 o'clock. It's awesome.
I love a 9 o'clock bedtime. 9:30 maybe.
Some light stretching or some yoga poses just to kind of unwind the body. If you have red light therapy already, use that. I'm not saying go out and buy red light therapy, but it can help with circadian rhythm as well. You talked about grounding a little bit. Go outside. If you go outside as the stars start appearing and you're standing in bare feet on the grass, that is one of the best ways to get a good night's sleep.
Well, I'm trying that out this evening.
It's free. Yes, totally free. I'm not a big mouth taper. I think I'm just not convinced that
The thought of that terrifies me.
It's terrifying.
That's like a weighted blanket. I'd rather take a beating.
To me, the mouth taping is way worse than that. I just feel like
there are a lot of people who need their mouth taped, to be fair. Mostly while they're awake.
Stop it. Yeah. So you'll have to do your own research about the mouth taping.
Some like it, some don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's one. Pets in the bedroom.
Thank you. No.
Yeah. Well, we don't have pets in our house, period.
For a reason.
But that is another reason. That's something that people will say, I don't sleep well, but
My dog gets me up at 4 o'clock.
But I have
That's
pets.
a good reason to not have a dog.
And then if you're really struggling and none of these things from the past 2 episodes are helpful at all, maybe having a sleep study done.
Let them take a look.
Yeah. Let your doctor in on your challenges and see if they have.
Solve the mystery. Don't just go to your doctor without doing your own work.
Do your own homework.
Do the work.
Because you could test any of these out for a couple of weeks and see what works for you.
Poor sleep is just like any other symptom. Nobody's ever going to know your body better than you do. You know what it eats. You know when it eats it. You know what it drinks. You know when it drinks it. You know who it hangs with. You know how it works. You know what it, blah, blah, blah. Solve your own mysteries. If you can't, then you look for some professional people to maybe take a look.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like the sleep study, I would think would be really hard because you're hooked up to a bunch of stuff. How are you going to sleep well when that happens? I just don't see how that you would have a really solid night's sleep.
Right.
So
it gives me sleep apnea just thinking about it.
I know. Yeah. Do you feel like you want to take a nap?
No, I feel like I'm very energized and we should go eat food.
Okay. I love that. Graham and Honey are here too. And so we can go grab something delicious.
This sounds like a perfect day.
Yeah, perfect ending to a perfect day so far. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, follow, and share, and we will see you next week. Bye.
See ya.